Okay, so today I want to talk about this letting go piece. Um, what I know and what I've learned is that there is nothing more important than my energy. My energy and my time, those are the two things that are now at the forefront of everything I do. I have a clear vision of where I want to go. I spend my time towards that and I spend my energy towards that vision. After being in such a toxic loop for so long, I realized I spent so much of my time and my energy navigating the toxicity, managing the dysfunction, trying to stay one step ahead of other people's messed up choices. And now here it is 8 years later, and I'm like, they are no different. Nothing's changed. Nothing changes when you spend your time navigating the toxicity. The best shot at me getting to where I want to go is, and for him to learn and do some self correction, is when he has to deal with his consequences. But when I'm constantly stabilizing and navigating and holding up the toxicity and he's doing, what is he learning? He's learning that I got it. Then I'm resentful that I'm holding up everything. I'm resentful that I'm spending time trying to stay ahead of someone else's choices and not moving into my purposeful life, my rightful place in joy and abundance and bliss and peace, all of those things, right? The only thing I can do for myself, for my family, for the people I love, for the people I don't love, the only thing that moves anything forward is if I'm being true to myself. That's what I've learned. The minute I lie to myself, it holds up a structure for bullshit. Because I know my power, I hold things up. And if I'm holding up bullshit, there's a lot of people who will ride that bullshit wave. So, and people benefit from me holding up the system or the infrastructure of crap. But if I'm true to myself, the things that should not be will fall and crumble, will fall away. And then whoever has to deal with that, they need to learn their lessons for them to make choices as to whether they're going to take that lesson and learn and grow, or take that lesson and learn and move on to the next, and not learn and move on to the next person who will hold up their fuckery. But it is not my place anymore to continue to compromise and sacrifice. And I talk about grace is this and grace is that. Grace is not grace if I'm losing. Grace is only grace when you're giving and you're receiving. When you are giving grace and you're constantly getting shorted or things aren't working, that's something else. And that's some work that I need to do, that I needed to do. So that's just today's message. It's pretty short, but it's pretty simple. The only way that you grow, the only way things transform, the only way you'll ever have peace and joy and sit in that place of real soul liberation is when you are surgical, like you are surgical with your time, where you're putting it, and your energy, who you're giving it to and what you're giving it to. And if those two, not one, but both of them are not focused on where you want to go, you're not only hurting yourself, but you are stopping the natural karmic flow that needs to happen. So on that note, what are we going to talk about today? What we're going to talk about today? Quiet the noise. Let me tell you something. The minute I was like, this is where I'm going, all of that, silent. Quiet the noise of friends and family who think you should do this. No, girl, you should do that. No, you don't need none of that no more because you've already decided where you're going. We are so reliant on everybody else's opinion, their perspectives, their input, their feedback. When you are clear about where you're going and you are putting your time and your energy towards that thing, none of this matters. And if I fall on my fucking face, I fell on my face doing something that I was in service of a bigger game. And I've never, ever stepped into something that I'm like, ooh, that's the vision. And then I pursue it. And then I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't. It's kind of like going to the gym and you work out. You don't want to in the beginning, or it may seem whatever, but you never leave the gym go, oh God, I wish I hadn't worked out today. You always feel that sense of, that was the right thing to do. And that's how I always feel when I move forward. So I'm just sharing that today because listen, we are living in a time right now where we do not know what happens. But one thing is for sure, there are no guarantees about anything. This illusion of safety that we had, I think that's by design. I think people are dealing with their safety across the board because it's put you in a position of, I'm going to do something and I might as well do something that feeds my soul. I might as well do something that is resonant with who I am and what my passions are and where I want to go. Because what else? This whole thing is an illusion anyway. And I still believe it's going to correct, but that's just me. All right. That's it for now. I will talk to y'all next week when I'll tell you all of the next week is going to be the start of a 3-part series because there's a lot to talk about. All right. See you next week.